This is how I'm going to get you guys to be able to control your texture coordinates like this. Now I know there's a problem and I'm going to fix it. I'm going to teach you how to fix it. So right now, if we look at our node setup, we have a puddle effect. That's what I'm going for, and my object location vector, which is basically the distance between both these two vectors, these two locations, which are the plane which I'm casting the puddle to, and the empty which nobody will be seeing. All of that's gonna go into this distance, which will calculate the vision, sorry, not the vision, the position, and then get you the basically, let me actually, so I can mess a lot more with this, I just made another file. This will just basically get you the distance between this and make it a value based on color. You could also just capture this attribute, so get an attribute node or capture named attribute. Is this not a thing here? Named attribute, color attribute. Wow, you can, wait, what? Hold on, that's not right. Attribute, it's in geometry nodes. Strange. Attribute. Anyway, if you want geometry nodes and you are doing something like this, in geometry nodes you'd have to use a geometry proximity node. That's a lot different. But for this, we're not actually going to be using any of that. What we are going to be using is the distance between two. So we get the object and the other object. So if I take these, open them up, I use Control H. Actually, where's my screencast keys? Yeah, something like that. No, wrong. They can't see you. There we go. So if you want to be able to just hide them, it's Control H. I think it's useful. I got the object and the other object of these two, and that gives you basically their locations, their vectors. So if you plug them into a distance node and divide it, you can get a controllable vector in form of a color. Let me just show you how to do this quickly. So you get two vectors. So this is the object vector, that's what it looks like, right? I don't know why you can see, I actually don't know how, don't know how I did that. Maybe it's just because it's, however I did it, it's cool. That's the origin vector, and this is the texture coordinate vector of the, it's not moved, but this moves it. And you might think it's, oh, it's moved on the opposite way. It's not really. This is the, it's just the what do I say, the world origin, where this 3D cursor always goes. If you go to world cursor to world origin, say I put the 3D cursor here, cursor to world origin will always bring it back. So that's how you do that. So I'll just take you to it. Get distance. You divide the distance so you can make it bigger or smaller. No? I'll explain that later. You invert the color so you can get a white value. You multiply it to make it brighter. You don't actually see what's going on right now, but let me. So divide, invert the color, multiply, power, that's to give it a gradient. So as you can see, if I mute this, it looks like that, or if I turn it on, you can see it gets stronger or weaker around the edges, and that's what I want. And then you have the puddle effect, which is basically a bunch of rings, the color ramp, multiply, power, and bump. so you can get, it's not a step-by-step tutorial. I'll do one of those later, but it's basically how you get this empty to control your effects. You just plug into the vector of whatever texture you've got. Of course, it doesn't only work with textures, but it's basically how it goes. Alright, hope you enjoyed.